Hey everyone, I've got a special video here today with this game between me and Suzaku. This was possibly the best game of Rivals I've ever played. Not as in I played this better than any other game I've played of Rivals. Simply, the game itself was so intense, so close, there was so much back and forth. It was against Suzaku on ladder. Suzaku is obviously a fantastic player. Currently, I believe, rank 2 GDI, rank 1 NOD, rank 1 overall. Finished rank 1 last season overall. So I thought I'd show you this replay and maybe talk through it a little bit. Because honestly, this game was so back and forth, so intense. I'm going to speed up a little bit at the start here. So one thing I want to talk about is Suzaku's early game missile positioning is extremely good. He positions his missiles together, then moves one missile down to get a 1v1 versus a wheel, and leaves the other one guarding, so I cannot get a 2v1. This results in him managing to kill 3 wheel squadrons without losing either of his missiles completely. I think he's one of the best players in the game at early game missile positioning. He always does this. Every time I play against him, I really struggle to get an edge with wheels against his missiles. I think he is just the best player in the game on the early game missile positioning. So anyway, he goes into pit bulls after I keep committing to wheels, which is reasonable. This militant squad he made, or rifle squad, was because he was predicting me making fanatics or militants. But I just kept making wheels. So he makes this pit bull, I respond with my tank. Then I go into my fanatics. Obviously, then he drops this turret down. This turret's really powerful here. It's really good on this map. Completely cuts me off from heading down here with fanatics. And forces me to basically just sacrifice this tank. Just to buy myself some time. Here I leave fanatics fighting the pit bull, because fanatics have really good vehicle damage. And then I swap over bikes for his drones. I send the fanatics this way. He sends more drones down the bottom. I send my fanatics up because I don't want to fight the drones. And then I have these guys hold. I swap both bikes down, both fanatics up to buy myself time against the orca and the drone, whilst the bike squadrons down here kill these drones. He sends another drone. His drones up here kill my fanatics in time. He's bruised the orca down. Basically, there's so much switching back and forth in this game. It's absolutely crazy. I have to make lasers because my bikes won't hold up against this orca for long enough. I get double boosted bikes to clean up his drone swarm down there. He sends in missiles, another drone swarm, another laser down here in prediction for this orca. That's why I sent this lasers down. I let the bikes fire there to get the extra damage on it. Bring these bikes down to support against this drone. Bring a fanatic up to fight this. This turret comes down. This turret is fantastic. Again, like, it completely locks me out. Takes out my my missiles, and another drone swarm comes in just in time to save him from the missile. I can't bring my fanatics down, or at least I can, but they get wrecked by the turret. New drone swarm comes in. I made this tank by accident. This was a misclick. I was trying to make a different unit. Ends up costing me the missile because it simply cannot fight the drone swarm up here. And Suzaku takes that first missile. So things calm down a little bit here. Normally after the first missile, people stop throwing units randomly at pads. Like, there's no desperation mode. So we both take a little bit of a stock of what's going on. I try and push up. I try and get value out of this tank that I accidentally built. If we go for the double boost in his harvester, when I see an orca coming, I'm forced to retreat. This will die in one volley when it's boosted. It's also damaged already, so it'll definitely die. So I send wheels in to eat the shots here to get this to start reloading. And I just bring my tanks and fanatic up this way. I'm keeping them together so that I can get boost on the tank. He decides to go after my harvester, so I go after his. He makes another orca. I again run away. He almost catches the tank, doesn't quite finish it, and I get fanatic boost to run away. I get a banshee to take out his orca that's killed my harvester. He does finally get my tank. I make another banshee. Banshee is the best unit against drone swarm and orca. But it's not good against anything else. It's not great against pitbull. It's not good against infantry. It's not very good against APC. But it's good against specifically orca plus drone swarm. So Suzaku takes this chance to get an APC locked down on the bottom pad. I have to respond with a tank here. He just saves the missile there. Just saves it, so close. But luckily for me, APC is so bad at holding pads, I'm able to sneak my tank in. This is simply because APC has terrible tile retention. So it's really hard for an APC to bump something else out. I get down my fanatics. I have to boost them to kill this missile. Just kills it in time. Super close there. Insanely close. Here comes the drone swarm. I see this coming, so I know I have to push my tank up. This is so close again. Here, look how close it is. Luckily, my tank finishes off his pitbull in time. I'm able to get sneak a banshee in here and a laser squad down here. With the fanatic boost, it kills these drone swarm quickly enough. Without the fanatic boost, I would have actually lost to this drone swarm. But with the boost, I'm able to basically trade here. Up here, another pitbull comes in and another drone swarm. I block the pitbull here with the fanatics. Get a new fanatic squad anticipating a missile trooper. But I have to swing it around the bottom because a missile trooper doesn't turn up. It's just pitbulls and drone swarm. I have to get another bike squad to come down here. This Fnatic boost really helps me out. It lets me kill off this. And then I also still have the Fnatic boost here when I go in against these drone swarm, which gives me really fast. You can see how fast the attack speed is. I clean up these drone swarm insanely quickly. Clean up this drone swarm insanely quickly. Basically, I win that missile because this bike was Fnatic boosted. And I managed to clean up both of these pads of it whilst desperately holding on down here. So Suzaku goes into another Orca. I go into another tank to clean up pit bulls. At this point, we're both just jockeying for position. Once again, there's like a little bit of a lull in between the missiles. I send my tank in. I was trying to get a double boost here, but I managed to... My tank wasn't quite close enough. And I go after his harvester. I just about get the harvester here. I see that I need one more shot. I trade the harvester for my tank. My tank actually does live just on a sliver of health. But I got the harvester just before the tank would have died anyway. So then the tank does go down. So it's not a big deal, honestly, that it lived on the tiny amount of health. This harvester kill here, I'll take a second to talk about this. This was really, really critical part of the game. Because as you can see, Suzaku is very Tiberium starved. He doesn't manage to get my harvester in return because I protect it with a Banshee. And he just simply doesn't have time to rebuild his harvester. He's desperately fighting over pads. And you'll see that he gets really Tiberium starved here. And it ends up being absolutely critical to this game. So that sneaky harvester kill really ends up costing him. But clearly at this point he's committed to the no harvester plan. He just makes drone swarms. I boost these Fanatics down here. So yeah, he's forced to make cheap units. He really needs to get an Orca out here to kill this tank, but he just doesn't have the money for it. So he needs to go into like missile troopers. He's just throwing drone swarm at these pads, trying to buy himself time. Finally notices this little lone missile trooper has been AFKing too long. Gets his own missile trooper here. This is another really important point I want to talk about. Realizing that my Fanatics had no good matchups on the board, I boost them and send them over here to intercept this incoming missile squad. And these guys absolutely shred. They absolutely shred this missile squad. Suzaku's completely locked out of the game at this point. He's got no Tiberium. And I finally take the last missile. So yeah, that game was absolutely crazy. There was so much back and forth, so much pad swapping. And like I say, I think that might be just the most intense game of Rivals I've ever played. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. My chat was going crazy when this game happened. As soon as it finished, Suzaku messaged me and was like, "Oh my god, that game was insane." I was like, "I know, the game was nuts." So yeah, I desperately wanted to put this one up on YouTube because this game was just so good. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you next time.